There are 4 different places that you can get credits, incentives, and even cash for purchasing an electric vehicle. And these places can be done separate from one another, meaning that you might be able to get the credits from all 4 sources. It's not either or. If you're buying an electric vehicle, especially now, while the government, manufacturers, and utilities are all trying to get quicker adoption, you may find there's more incentives for electric vehicles now than there will be in the future. So let's take a look at those 4 sources for electric vehicle incentives. Obviously, the federal government has EV incentives for purchasing a new electric vehicle. Ranges from $2,000 up to $7,500 in some cases. Most vehicles qualify. There are 2 models of vehicles that no longer qualify for EV credits. Those are the General Motors Volt and some of the Tesla models. And the reason why is because these incentives came out up until a manufacturer sold 200,000 vehicles. Once a manufacturer sells 200,000 electric vehicles, they no longer can get incentives for their clients for those vehicles. So those are 2 brands of cars that have already passed that volume milestone. All other vehicles currently qualify for electric vehicle credit from the federal government. Now, keep in mind that if you're looking at a vehicle that the manufacturer is going to sell 200,000 of those pretty soon, you want to act quickly. Second source of possible incentive, rebate, or cash for an electric vehicle is the state government. Many states have an additional rebate that you can get several $1,000s. In the state of Oregon, it can be up to $7,500 for an electric vehicle purchase. Now, some states have income criteria for these incentives. They're trying to subsidize for lower middle class incomes. But even if it's only $1,000 or $2,000, that's on top of the federal government incentive. Now, if you're looking at a vehicle in 2022, you have another benefit of buying an electric vehicle, and that is many utilities are providing incentives for people who buy electric vehicles. And there's actually 2 incentives from utilities. One is you get a discount or credit on your electric bill if you have an electric vehicle that's registered to you at your address where your service is located. If you have an electric vehicle registration that you can show the registered garaging address is the same as your service address, your utility might have a lower electric rate for your electric bill. That rate may also apply to your normal use, for your household use, in addition to your EV charging. That can save you money right off the bat. In addition, if you wish to install a fast charger at your residence in your garage, many utilities will give you an incentive or rebate or discount on the installation of a fast charging system. Sometimes it'll pay for the whole thing. So you can upgrade your home's electrical system, have a fast charger in your garage, which will also increase your home value, and have the electric company pay for it. In fact, 5, 6, 7 years from now, when a higher percentage of electric vehicles are on the road, it's almost going to be a requirement for a home to have a charging station inside the house. And if you don't have it, your house might be worth less. It might be not as desirable of a piece of real estate. So you want to get this done. Now, once there's more adoption and more people are buying electric vehicles and it's more popular, they're not going to need to have these rebates anymore. So take advantage of them while you can. And here's the last really big advantage for buying an electric vehicle. Right now, they are not the mainstream type of vehicle. Less than 1% of vehicles on the road are electric vehicles. Because of that, the manufacturers are not passing along all of the costs for electric vehicles in the form of the price of the car. In fact, gasoline vehicles are somewhat subsidizing the development of EVs because they're making more profits on gasoline vehicles. You've seen the dramatic appreciation in price of new cars and availability of new cars that's happened in the last 24 to 30 months. Electric vehicles have not gone up as much in price. They're still at a level of 2 or 3 years ago. So purchasing an electric vehicle now before the demand starts to pop can save you some money on the purchase price. And here's the thing about electric vehicles. Unlike a gas internal combustion engine, there's not much wear and tear that goes on an electric vehicle. There's an old saying in the car business, everybody drives a used car. Even if you buy a new car, 2 days later, off the lot, it's a used car. So a gas engine vehicle is used the first week, month you have it, and it's starting to wear out the pistons and the drivetrain and the transmission and all the gears. That's why it's internal combustion. There's literally combustion happening inside the engine. Think about that. There's explosions happening inside an internal combustion engine. If an engine operates at 3,000 RPMs, each revolution has, depending on if it's a 2-stroke or a 4-stroke, 2 or 1 or 2 combustion cycles times 8 cylinders or 6 cylinders. There are thousands of explosions inside a gas engine every minute. Each one of those explosions wears that engine out a little bit. Now, gas engines last a long time, 100,000 miles easy, 200,000 miles in some cases. But each explosion is wearing away that engine. With an electric engine, electric motor, there's not much wear. There's no explosion happening. There's no internal combustion happening. It's electrical energy turning into motion. That's why if you think about all the electrical motors in your house, dishwasher, dryer, washer, things that have electric motors, they last forever. The blower motor in your car that blows the air conditioning into your car, those last forever. They never wear out. Electric engines are very durable. So if you purchase one now, you're basically buying a car that 2 or 3 years from now is in almost the same condition as it was new. Where if you buy a gasoline engine, 2 years later, sometimes those cars are worth half of what they were new because of the wear and tear. Now, you have to be careful of the batteries. You want to make sure you treat your battery well, and you'll see other videos about that. But buying an electric vehicle, plug-in EV or full electric vehicle, will put you ahead of the game to when it's more of a ubiquitous vehicle on the road. And you can take advantage of those incentives and rebates and cash now. The federal government is putting billions of dollars into getting adoption of electric vehicles. Look, even with the inflation that has happened in the last year and the gas prices have gone up, every time they try to corner a politician about why the gas price is too much and what are you doing about it, one of the pat answers they come back with is, you should buy an electric vehicle. If you have an EV, you won't pay gas. If you had an EV, you won't worry about gas prices. Whether you agree with that or not, or you agree with the politics or not, doesn't matter. The fact is, electric vehicles are being pushed by the government. Take advantage of that. They want to give you money. Take their money. Take it from the federal government, the state government, the utility, and the dealer. They all want to get these cars on the road. At some point, they're not going to care as much because everybody's going to want them anyways. So by jumping in early, you'll have the advantage of gobbling up all these incentives buying a car at a 2022 price versus a 2025 price, which at the rate inflation is going, 3 years from now, cars might be twice as much. So if you're going to buy a car anyways, take advantage of the money that's being thrown around out there for your financial budget and pocket it while the getting is good.